Just imagine you're lengthening your spine. Put some space in between those vertebrae. And the head is very slightly tipped forward and the eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose, tip of the tongue and the roof of the mouth. And just relax the jaw and then go to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead and your whole face and the whole back of your head and your neck and your throat and the shoulders, your back, your belly, and your limbs. And bring the mind to the breath, just noticing the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. And then just recognize if you're being distracted by any sounds in your environment. And try to allow those sounds just to be and bring the mind back to the breath. And notice what thoughts might be arising. Try and put some space in between them. And if you like, just imagine each thought has its own little cloud. You can just pop your thoughts on a cloud and allow them to float away. Perhaps a lotus. But this way we're not engaging. Try not to judge or have opinions. Take a step back and just allow your thoughts. Show curiosity and interest and objectivity. And bring to mind all the people of your life, our loved ones, the ones we don't love quite so much, and then there's our strangers. Remembering that they can all change place at any time. This beloved, this one we don't like, and this stranger. This is the nature of impermanence. None of our relationships are stable. So the ones that we do have that matter to us, it's a really good idea to try and not take them for granted for even a second. And then in terms of equanimity, developing bodhicitta, we start with this idea that everyone is the same as us in their wish to be happy. And they're all the same because no one wants to suffer. We're always looking for comfort somewhere. And then we're all the same in having this capacity for this Buddha mind. So I think we'll do this practice this evening, the benefit of all these people of our life, for the benefit of all sentient beings, and just thinking particularly of Israel this evening as he's progressing on his journey to another dimension, another life. And think, just have love in your heart and wishing him well, safe passage. And meanwhile, we'll support him with his own practices. So we start by thinking there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind so we can equally create positivity with our mind instead. So we start by regret, with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all past lives. And you can think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, just regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. Having harmed others, we will necessarily experience some level of suffering in the future, and the timing of that will be uncertain. So logically, it makes sense to remove these karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. You can also regret any anger, maybe attachment and grasping, and the rest are delusions that are the cause of why we harm others. And think again, I'm sick of this suffering. So then what can we do about it? Whom can we turn to? So we start with the power of reliance. Take refuge. We rely on the Buddha, who we see as a doctor rather than a higher power, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And we're not needing this Buddha Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're relying upon his medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. And you can also imagine this is, if you have a teacher, a spiritual guide, a trusted mentor, imagine this is that person manifesting in this form, this aspect for your benefit. And you can imagine Vajrasattva is made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And this lotus, although born out of mud, is untainted by that mud, just like our enlightened potential, which is born out of our delusions, but yet not tainted by them. Vajrasattva has this beautiful, radiant face. He has very compassionate, peaceful, loving eyes, has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So we have a little section here on compassion, developing compassion. So we start by thinking that we need to rely upon other beings in order to do this. So we think of the beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, bring someone to mind, and then think particularly of those who have harmed us, who've harmed you. Have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to cause suffering, will result in suffering for them sometime down the track, sometime in the future, some uncertain time. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mebi Yatso Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta me bawa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Siddham shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida me bawa sitokaya me bawa sipokaya me bawa. Anurakta me bawa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida me bawa sitokaya me bawa sipokaya me bawa. Anurakta me bawa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Siddham shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida me bawa sitokaya me bawa sipokaya me bawa. Anurakta me bawa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Siddham shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum hey. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So that anytime anyone hears you, smells you, senses you there, feels you, you touch them, it benefits them, their mind, heals them, makes them happy. So next is a purification of the speech. And again, Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra and arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, which overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can just imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and useless speech and lying, inappropriate speech, ineffective speech, that those times where we wish we could get our point across and we can't quite make it clear, and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling us as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sitokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mipi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sitokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sitokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sitokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sitokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sitokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sitokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva hum pe. So feel really happy that your speech is now completely purified. Imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others with your speech. So every syllable that falls out of your mouth is of benefit to someone. So you know you have that friend that you're talking to who's got something going on. And sometimes you don't know whether it's best to stay silent or say something. So with this wisdom speech, you'll know exactly what to say at exactly the right moment that's of benefit to their mind, that helps them. How amazing if we could be like that every single time we open our mouth. The next is a purification of the mind. And Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around, enters your crown, and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as you walk into that pitch black room, you flick on the switch, that light instantly dispels the darkness. So you imagine the same here. The light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment, anxiety, depression, violence and anger and grudges and bitterness and neediness, resentment, jealousy, grudges, disappointment, all of this instantly dispelled as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva hom pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita tita meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva hom pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita tita meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva hom pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita tita meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva hom pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita tita meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva hom pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita tita meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva hom pe. So again, delighted, all your delusions, which are the source of all of your own suffering for all of us, and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. They're finished. And think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion and expansiveness. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time imagine Vajrasattva sending light and nectar and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from the mind. Om Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Hanarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Matsa Vajravala Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Sidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Sidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Sidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Sidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Sidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Sidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe. So I feel completely purified. Not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment are now purified. So now the fourth and final step, and quite a crucial one, is this determination, this decision that we've got to make a decision, otherwise nothing's going to happen, to not harm with our body, our speech, and our mind. So we just do the best we can, we just have to decide that this is the direction we're going in. And without this determination, this decision, we're just going to keep repeating the same old stuff. So at some point, we have to just sort of say to ourselves, oh, I don't really want to harm anymore, either myself or others. So think of something that you have been working on, that you would like to work on, whether it be with your speech or some kind of other habit that you have that's harmful, maybe to yourself or others. And think about refraining from it, even if it's only 5 seconds or overnight while you're sleeping. Just the very idea that you want to make a change kind of gives us some kind of strength or focus. So Vajrasattva imagines, delighted with us, wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And so you can think my teacher's body, speech, and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. So you just kind of melt into one. And next, a little bit about emptiness. So just sort of think as much as you can, as much as you understand. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level, again, you understand emptiness, just try and place your mind there for a moment. So we can think maybe all phenomena are empty. They do not exist from their own side. And perhaps the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this purification to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I have created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. Think of Israel. I've also heard that Venerable Ravina is not very well at the moment. She's still in Nepal. So very strong prayers for her long life and quick return to health. And I'm not sure what's wrong. And very strong prayers for Israel as he's moving through the bardo. All right. So one of those, let's do His Holiness's long life prayer. Someone have it? Oh, sorry. So I was looking at the wrong thing. Thank you. The wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And so let's do, okay, this is His Holiness Dalai Lama's swift return prayer. Peerless teacher and assembly of children of the victorious ones, Shravakas and Pratikya Buddhas, victorious Lozang, father and sons, together with the lineage masters, all the objects of refuge of the infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness to accomplish this prayer here and now. Holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings, Tubtan, through explanation and practice, you wore the armor of patience, Zopa, that is never discouraged. Incomparable Venerable Guru, to you I make request, while striving single-pointedly for the sake of the victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, and from other living beings you suddenly departed for peace. What a great loss. Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the three jewels and the great waves of bodhicitta of the children of the victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in glory for the fortunate disciples. Lama Ursel Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers and far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please live long. Geshe Shera, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Okay, everybody, a couple of minutes over. My apologies. And I think we'll just continue with the Tara tomorrow morning, if everyone's okay with that. You're not getting sick of doing the same old thing over and over again? No? All right. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Lots of love. Thank you for coming. Thank you for hosting. Was that Michael? I guess it was. And thank you for those of you who were keeping an eye on the door. Thanks a lot. Okay. Good night, everybody.
Enjoy.